Yo, what is going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider back at it again with another episode of Nation News. And on today's episode, I'm going to talk about the possibility of letting Russ cook in Las Vegas. Not only that, I'm going to talk about Tyrell Williams being cut by the team. And last but not least, I'm going to be talking about JJ Watt and Marcus Mariota. All of that on this episode of Nation News.
And you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Now, before I get started with this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Now, I know I went live yesterday and talked about some of these subjects, but YouTube was tripping. It wasn't letting me edit it. I don't know why, so I don't care. I'm just going to talk about it in this video. Whew, so first up on some Nation News, let Russ cook in Las Vegas? Now, there is a possibility. According to Mike Duggar, the Raiders are on a short list of potential trade destinations for Russell Wilson. Other teams being the Dolphins, Jets, and Saints. Now, Wilson has already voiced his frustration with the team about his protection and about the direction of the franchise. And reports have said that Wilson and his camp have talked about potential trade scenarios with the team. Now, multiple teams have reached out to the Seahawks about Russell Wilson, but it seems like it'll take like a minimum of 3 first-round picks plus some assets. That's a lot, but we know how great Russell Wilson is. According to the Athletic report, some people around the league believe a trade could happen. If not this season, then sometime in the near future. Now, if Russell Wilson did come to Las Vegas and play behind our really good offensive line, oh man, he'd literally be dangerous. But the biggest downside for me is that it's going to cost a boatload to bring Russell Wilson over to Sin City. Now, with all of that in mind, I doubt that the Raiders would even be in play for Russell Wilson, especially knowing that the Raiders are already in talks about extending Derek Carr. But if it was entirely up to me, I would love to have Russell Wilson on this team. I would have Russell Wilson more than Deshaun Watson because he's proved to do a lot more with a lot less than Deshaun Watson has done with the Texans, especially this past year going 4-12. But my biggest question to you guys, Raider Nation, would you guys want to go out and trade for Russell Wilson? And what would you guys give up? Well, you guys would have to at least give up 3 first-round picks. But what else would you give up on top of that? Let me know in the comments below. So the Raiders have officially released Tyrell Williams. Now, we already knew that this was going to happen. There was reports already saying that the Raiders were going to part ways with Tyrell Williams. But the good news is that this move would save the team $11.6 million in cap space. And right now, the Raiders are sitting at negative $2.8 million, which is good, you know. And I know we're going to cut more people in the near future. Probably LaMarcus Joyner and Trent Brown and so on and so forth. In 2019, Williams signed a 4-year, $44 million deal with the Raiders. Now, 2 years later, he's already out of here. Now, Ian Rappaport officially announced this yesterday, tweeting, the Raiders release wide receiver Tyrell Williams 2 years into his 4-year, $44.3 million free agent deal. He missed last year with a torn labrum. Now, I gotta give Williams some credit because he did play well in his first season with the Raiders, especially with AB being gone. He definitely stepped up when we needed him to until he got injured. In 2019, he had 42 receptions, 651 yards, and 6 touchdowns, but he missed all of 2020 due to a shoulder injury. So now with Tyrell Williams gone and the possibility of Nelson Agholor being gone as well, who should the Raiders bring in? John Gruden has already stated, and we talked about this already, that he wants to bring a veteran wide receiver to the team to pair up with Henry Ruggs and Bryan Edwards. I threw this list out yesterday on my live stream. These are 4 options that I have right here. Those guys being T.Y. Hilton, Juju Smith, John Ross, or re-signing Nelson Agholor. Now, the reason why I picked these 4 guys because I believe these are the most realistic players that I think the Raiders could go out and get in free agency. So, out of these 4 guys, Raider Nation, who would you guys want to bring in free agency? Let me know down in the comments below. So apparently my cousin Marcus Mariota, his trade market has dried up recently. I mean, that escalated quickly. Just a couple of days ago, Ian Rappaport talked about many teams being interested in Marcus Mariota, and I believe teams are still interested in him. But the biggest downside to it and the biggest issue to trading for him is his contract. Now, we know that he's set to make a little bit over $10 million in 2021, but with all the added incentives on his contract right now, he could make an extra $12 million if he became a starter with any other team, which would put him at $22 million in cap space for whatever team he goes to. And that's a lot of money for a bridge quarterback like Marcus Mariota. Now, believe me, he's a good quarterback, but I know a lot of teams are hesitant to trade for him right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these teams would wait for the Raiders to cut him and just go out and sign him in free agency to a new contract. Knowing how much Marcus would make in 2021, it'd be smart for the Raiders to let him go. It would save the team a total of $11.3 million in cap space. So at this point, if we could get at least something for my cousin, it'd be a win-win for the team. Even if it was a 4th or 5th round pick, just pull the trigger if a team was really that interested in him. Now, according to sportsbetting.com, the Patriots are the favorites to receive Marcus Mariota, whether they sign him in free agency or trade for him. Now, trust me, I believe that Marcus Mariota would do really well with Bill Belichick over there in New England with the Patriots. Now, with that being said, who would you guys bring in as a backup quarterback to Derek Carr? Whether you guys would want to go in free agency or go into the NFL draft. Now, in free agency, if we're talking about some free agent quarterbacks that we could go out and get, I mean, I'm looking at guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick, Jacoby Brissett, Cam Newton, Andy Dalton, maybe Alex Smith or Mitchell Trubisky, or maybe even Gardner Minshew. And if I'm looking in the draft and I'm looking for someone in the mid rounds, I'm looking at my guy from the Texas Longhorns, you know what I mean? Sam Ehlinger. That's another guy that I wouldn't mind having on the Raiders squad. Now, last but not least, let's talk about JJ Watt. I know I've talked about JJ Watt so many times, but I guess there is a there's some possibility that the Raiders might be acquiring JJ Watt. Now, according to ESPN's John Clayton, he said that JJ Watt won't be coming to Pittsburgh. Tennessee, Green Bay, and the Buffalo Bills are the 3 teams. Raiders as a dark horse team. Now, on top of that, today, a report came out by Diana Rossini saying JJ Watt has received several offers from many teams, and one team offering him about $15 to $60 million a year, which is a lot of money, and most likely that's not the Raiders because we are in some cap hell right now. But that doesn't mean that JJ Watt won't take a lesser offer to a team that has potential of winning a Super Bowl, the Las Vegas Raiders. But we shall see once free agent starts whether or not the Raiders are actually interested in bringing over JJ Watt to the team. So again, let me ask you guys, would you guys bring in JJ Watt in free agency? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today on this episode of Nation News. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And again, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're less than 200 subscribers away from 25K, so help your boy out. Now, with all that being said, until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is Yow.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.